Hello, everybody. My name is Edwin Cifuentes Motta, and this is my project Booktuber for a Day, in which I will talk about the book The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, written by Edgar Allan Poe in 1837. First of all, we need to talk about when it was written. So, this book, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, was written in 1837 and it was published in a monthly magazine of Richmond, Virginia, the United States. Uh, it was written because the gentleman of Virginia asked Edgar Allan Poe to publish his adventures in the southern part when he was in the Antarctic. Another important aspect we have to mention here is through his 40 years of life of Edgar Allan Poe only wrote one novel, which is the one that we're talking about. At the beginning, he started with the poems, then he managed to continue with um, science fiction, detective stories, and also thriller. But this is the only novel that he has. It is only 25 chapters, 180 and 38 pages, and it is important at that time. I'm talking about modernism because he is the precursor of short stories and science fiction, as Julio Verne took from him ideas. Arthur Conan Doyle took from ideas from him when writing about detective novel and mystery, and also H.P. Lovecraft took some ideas from him to write about thrillers. So talking about the novel, there is a story of two guys, Arthur and August. August's father is the captain of a vessel, a big vessel, and they always go on board with his son. So the idea is that uh, August convinced uh, Arthur to go on sailing one day at night. They took the ship and went uh, to the sea, and a heavy storm hits the vessel, and they were so um, damaged. The vessel was damaged, and the two guys were almost dead. But another ship just came and rescued them and put it on the port. They never told uh, Argos fathers about this, but they continue talking about going sailing. So 2 years later, um, in a big vessel, the captain or the Argos father, the captain of the vessel, went sailing with his son, and Arthur is hiding somewhere down there in the vessel. Uh, they stayed there for a long time, and he was waiting for August to come and give him some food, liquors, and drinks. But the time passed, and he was almost dead. His dog, uh, its name is Tiger, find a note in which August tell Arthur to stay there because there is a mutiny on board. So he stayed there. Some days passed after that. August came and tell him what happened on board. His father was killed, and they were just develop this mutiny on board. Uh, but there is only one mutineer, which his name is Dick Peters. He was on the side of August. So the three of them developed a plan in which they took over um, the vessel. And yes, they took over the vessel, but another storm just came, hit the vessel, damaged everything. And the idea is that this is the first 3 or 4 chapters, which are quite long in comparison with the others 20 uh, chapters. It is really important because there is these ideas, these feelings, this how uh, this idea of dying is expressed by Edgar Allan Poe. Um, it is important to mention that after this, they took over. They saw another ship coming, and they think that is going to rescue them. But as soon as they get closer, they notice that there is no one alive in that vessel. Everybody is dead on board, and there are corpses. Uh, People, uh, they think that they were alive, but they are just stuck in the on board. So it's a kind of terrifying story. After that, they go on an island, almost dead of thirsty and starvation. This island is there is a population of native people. Um, they try to eat them. So I will not spoil about what happened later because it is important that you read this. It is so scary how they manage to escape from all these adventures. It is a good story with a great final, great ending. Personally, I think that yes, I agree with those people saying that the book is not his best writing. His poems, Raven, for example, is the best poem. They have another detective stories, thrillers, which are more interesting. I don't know. Probably because this idea of a long writing is not his kind of thing. He's better when he writes short stories, quickly, spontaneous, very impressive. They makes you feel how you were there. How I feel when I was reading this. Well, as I told you, I started reading Edgar Allan Poe when I was a child, and it was good for me because it is not a book, a big book, but in 2 days you can read a short story about that, and it engages me a lot. So this story, I thought that it will be the same idea, but you have to manage, you have to cover all in a period, in a longer period of time. Um, According to the people, to the experts about his writing, is like you put together some short stories with the same protagonist. So it is important for you to read. It is good for you to read, and you can compare between his novel and short stories. Um, well, that is all that I have to say for now. I hope that you like it. I hope that you enjoy this book. I really liked it, but I have to say that it's not his best. Thank you very much.